Chapter 1: The Intriguing Puzzle of Personal Relationships. Have you ever wondered why some personal relationships thrive while others seem to self-destruct? It's a question that's puzzled many of us, and the answer lies in the intricate web that forms the essence of human connections. Personal relationships are complex, multifaceted, and at times, downright bewildering. They are a delicate dance between two individuals, each with their unique personality, experiences, and expectations. Now, imagine if we could peek behind the curtain of this dance and unravel the strings that pull and push these relationships. This is where the concept of dark motivation comes into play. It's not as ominous as it sounds, but it's incredibly pivotal. Dark motivations are those hidden, often subconscious factors that influence our behavior in relationships. They are like the invisible puppeteers controlling our actions, reactions, and interactions. Insecurity, jealousy, and fear of abandonment are common examples of dark motivations. They're the silent saboteurs that can turn even the most promising relationships into battlegrounds. Insecurity can make us question our worth and lead us to seek constant validation. Jealousy, on the other hand, can create a toxic cycle of doubt and distrust. And the fear of abandonment, it can make us clingy, controlling, and excessively dependent. But it's not all doom and gloom. These dark motivations are not our destiny. They're simply our starting point. By shining a light on them, we can begin to understand their roots and their impact on our relationships. We can learn to recognize their signs, to question their validity, and to challenge their hold over us. And that's the beauty of this journey. It's not about blaming or shaming. It's about understanding and transforming. It's about taking these dark motivations that have been driving our relationships and turning them into catalysts for growth, change, and connection. So, let's embark on this journey together. Let's delve into the shadows, face our fears, and emerge stronger, wiser, and more connected. Because understanding and transforming these dark motivations can be the key to healthier, happier relationships. Chapter 2: The Role of Emotional Intelligence. Did you know that emotional intelligence plays a significant role in how we relate to others? Quite an intriguing question, isn't it? Emotional intelligence, or EQ, as it's often called, is a term coined by researchers Peter Salovey and John Mayer, and popularized by Dan Goleman in his book, Emotional Intelligence. But what exactly is emotional intelligence? Well, it's the ability to understand, use, and manage our own emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. Sounds like a superpower, right? In a way, it is. Now, let's bring in the expertise of a psychologist to shed more light on this. Emotional intelligence, as they explain, is like a navigation system for our relationships. It's what helps us understand ourselves better, recognize our own emotions, and how they affect our thoughts and actions. This is called self-awareness, the first pillar of emotional intelligence. Next, we have empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Now, empathy isn't about agreeing with someone else's perspective or feelings. It's about understanding where they're coming from, even if we see things differently. It's about putting ourselves in their shoes. Then we have emotional regulation, which is all about managing our emotions in a way that allows us to express them appropriately and effectively. It's not about suppressing our feelings, but rather understanding them, so we can express them in a way that is constructive, not destructive. You see, emotional intelligence is about more than just understanding our emotions. It's about how we handle those emotions in ourselves and in our interactions with others. It's a skill set that can be developed and honed over time, and its impact on our personal relationships is profound. Building our emotional intelligence can help us navigate the ups and downs of personal relationships with greater ease and understanding. So, let's embark on this journey of emotional growth together, forging healthier, more fulfilling relationships as we go. After all, isn't that what we all want? Chapter 3: The Lifeline of Relationships. Ever considered how improving your communication skills could transform your personal relationships? It's a vital concept to ponder. To shed light on this topic, we've invited a renowned communication coach to share some practical tips with us. Imagine you're sitting in a cozy coffee shop across from the coach, steaming cups of coffee filling the air with an inviting aroma. She begins to speak, her voice carrying the warmth and wisdom of her years of experience. Communication, she says, is the lifeline of relationships. It's the bridge that connects two people, allowing them to share their thoughts, feelings, and experiences. One of the first strategies she suggests is active listening. This concept goes beyond merely hearing words. It's about fully engaging with the speaker, showing genuine interest, and providing feedback. This practice helps to build understanding and empathy, fostering deeper connections between individuals. Next, she highlights the importance of expressing feelings effectively. It's not just about what you say, but how you say it, she explains. She recommends using I statements instead of you statements. For instance, rather than saying, "You make me feel ignored," try, "I feel ignored when I don't get a response." This approach helps to minimize defensiveness and opens the door to more constructive conversations. The coach then warns against using blame language. Such language can lead to conflicts and damage relationships. Instead, she advocates for focusing on the issue at hand and working together to find a solution. This cooperative approach can strengthen bonds and promote mutual respect. As the conversation draws to a close, the coach emphasizes that effective communication is not an innate talent, but a skill that can be honed. Like any other skill, she says, it requires patience, practice, and a willingness to learn. And most importantly, it requires a commitment to understanding and respecting the other person's perspective. So, the next time you find yourself in a challenging conversation, remember these tips. Use active listening to fully engage with the other person. Express your feelings in a way that promotes understanding rather than defensiveness. And avoid blame language, focusing instead on finding solutions together. Remember, effective communication is a skill that can be learned and improved over time. Chapter 4: The Foundation of Healthy Relationships. Without trust, can a relationship truly flourish? Let's dive into that question with the help of a relationship counselor. Trust, as our expert emphasizes, is the bedrock of any relationship. It's the foundation upon which every healthy connection is built. But what does trust really mean? It's more than just a feeling. It's a choice to believe in someone, to rely on them, and to invest your time, energy, and emotions in them. It's about being vulnerable and open, even when it's difficult. However, trust isn't something that just happens overnight. It's built over time, through consistent actions and words. It's about showing up when you say you will, about following through on your promises. It's about being reliable, honest, and open. It's about letting the other person see your flaws and imperfections and accepting theirs. But what if that trust is broken? It's a question that no one wants to face, but it's a reality in many relationships. Trust can be damaged by lies, betrayals, and disappointments. And once it's broken, it can be hard to rebuild. Yet, it's not impossible. Our relationship counselor highlights that rebuilding trust requires a commitment from both parties. It requires patience, understanding, and a willingness to forgive. It's about proving to the other person, through actions and words, that you are worthy of their trust again. It's also about learning from the past. We often hear the phrase, once bitten, twice shy, but in the context of trust, it's more about being once bitten, twice wise. It's about understanding what led to the breach of trust and taking steps to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Remember, trust is not just about believing in the other person. It's also about believing in the relationship and its potential to grow and evolve. It's about having faith in your shared journey, despite the bumps along the way. So, when we ask, without trust, can a relationship truly flourish? The answer is clear. No, it can't. Because in a relationship, trust is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Chapter 5. How to Transform Dark Motivations. Ready to turn your dark motivations into a force for positive change in your relationships? Let's dive into the final chapter of our journey, where we explore the transformation of dark motivations. Firstly, let's demystify the term dark motivations. These are the hidden drivers behind our actions that may not always serve our best interests or those of others. They could be rooted in fear, insecurity, jealousy, or a myriad of other complex emotions. So, how can we cast light on these dark motivations and transform them into positive forces? Experts suggest a 4-step process: self-reflection, therapy, patience, and self-compassion. Let's start with self-reflection. It's like holding up a mirror to your inner self and looking beyond the surface. It involves acknowledging your dark motivations, understanding their origins, and identifying how they influence your relationships. Remember, the purpose of self-reflection isn't to judge or criticize, but to gain clarity and insight. Next, consider therapy. A trained professional can provide a safe, non-judgmental space to explore your motivations and guide you towards healthier patterns of behavior. Therapy isn't a sign of weakness, but a courageous step towards personal growth. Thirdly, patience is key. Changing deep-seated motivations isn't an overnight process. It's a journey often marked by setbacks and victories. It's important to celebrate the small wins and learn from the challenges, always moving forward, step by step. Finally, self-compassion is your best ally on this journey. Be gentle with yourself. Recognize that we all have dark motivations to some degree, and that acknowledging and working on them is a testament to your strength and resilience. Remember, this transformation isn't about achieving perfection, but about nurturing healthier, more fulfilling relationships. It's about becoming a better version of yourself, for your own sake and for those you care about. Transforming our dark motivations isn't easy, but the rewards healthier, more fulfilling relationships are well worth the effort. So, let's commit to this journey of transformation together. Chapter 6. Recap and Call to Action. Let's summarize what we've learned about transforming personal relationships for a brighter future. We've discussed the intriguing puzzle that is personal relationships and the importance of understanding the dark motivations that can sometimes cloud our connections with others. We've explored the role of emotional intelligence in fostering deeper, more meaningful bonds. We've explored the role of emotional intelligence in fostering deeper, more meaningful bonds. By tuning into our feelings and those of others, we can navigate the complexities of human interactions more effectively. We've also talked about the lifeline of relationships: communication. Enhancing how we express ourselves and understand others is key to building stronger bonds. Trust, too, is a fundamental pillar, offering a solid foundation for healthy relationships. Finally, we've considered how to transform dark motivations, turning them into opportunities for growth and positive change. Remember, improving our personal relationships is a journey, not a destination. What's one step you'll take on this journey? Share your thoughts in the comments below.